Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Let's Play of Long Live the Queen. Now, this is a visual novel, and I've been wanting to stream it for some time. It's a very good visual novel. It has a bunch of choices you can make. It has a bunch of stuff. It has a good soundtrack. It's very good. And we are going to do the proper princess route, which we're going to, as an introduction to the game, we're going to do what our character will be expected to do. Where, like, we're going to listen to our advisors, we're going to do, like, everything that, you know, almost a cliche kind of, this is what a princess should do. The story is our character's mom has passed away, so we're about to become the queen, and we have to make it to our coronation and become queen, and a lot of things can happen along the way. Now, it's kind of a complicated game, and you'll see why here in a bit because of all the different choices we can make. But like I said, we're going to just make the choices that, you know, would be expected of us. We're going to listen to our advisors, that whole thing. So let's jump right in. We're almost home. Your room is just the way you left it. I know it's hard to leave your school and all your friends, but I've arranged the best possible tutors for every subject. You'll have to work hard this year to prepare yourself before your 15th birthday, but I know you can do it. You'll learn quickly and you'll make a wonderful queen. It's what your mother would have wanted. This is not what Mother would have wanted. She wouldn't have wanted to die and leave me. No, she wouldn't, but sometimes bad things happen. We have to pick up and carry on. All of Nova depends on us, on you. Ugh. I will be here to guide you until your coronation, but the decisions you make are ultimately up to you. Come, your maids are waiting. Okay, long story short, the game consists of, we have 40 weeks till our coronation, and every week we get to choose different classes. And as you can see, there are quite a few. And we have all sorts of different skills and everything, as you can see, and it's kind of complicated. I've played this game a bunch of times. I've gotten all the achievements and all the endings, so I know the game pretty well. But we're only going to focus on royal demeanor and conversation mostly, because, you know, like I said, that's what would be expected of a princess. Learning, like, meditation and magic and that kind of thing isn't really expected of the princess, or weapons or athletics. And depending on which skills you decide to level up depends on what kind of choices you get to make, what certain outcomes of certain situations will be. I'll explain it as we go. There's also our mood. Right now we're depressed. We're pretty depressed, as you can see, which means that royal demeanor and conversation, our princess skills, will have negative modifiers, which means they gain less experience points when we try to level them. So for the first week, since we're a depressed princess, we're going to go to the stables and hang out with some horses. And because we're depressed, we get a bonus for that. You walk around the stables meeting the royal horses, learning about their breeds and the names for different parts of their anatomy. You learn about caring for horses, grooming with different brushes and keeping hooves free of stones. You learn about the different pieces that go into saddles and bridles, how to check for signs of wear, and how to equip and adjust them on a horse. What's all that noise outside? Who's here? Oh, it's my cousins and my aunt and uncle. Darling, we are so terribly sorry to hear about your mother, Fidelia. Thank you. You look well, niece. Hi, Lodi. Hi, Lottie. I haven't seen you in ages. Will you be staying long? Yup. Mommy said we'd be here all month. Maybe we'll have some time to talk later. And as you can see, that made us slightly more cheerful. Okay, and here's more choices. Because we're doing the proper princess, we're going to try to keep our relationship with our father good. So we're going to talk to him. Dad, can we talk? I'm sorry, your uncle and I have things to do. Maybe another time. Oh, and that made us more lonely. We're still depressed, so we're gonna keep, we're gonna visit the dogs this time. Whoops. You visit the kennels and learn about different breeds of dogs. You learn about dog grooming and the most common diseases and injuries that dogs suffer from. You learn the standard commands for working with trained hunting dogs and retrievers. Interesting. What's that commotion outside? Father, what's going on? I have come to pay my respects in honor of your mother. You have no respect or honor. It's because of you and your powers that my wife is dead. What? I am a Lumen, as was she, and like every Lumen, I am willing to give my life if necessary to protect our domain. Your line has been traitors for 200 years. I won't have you corrupting my daughter. That is for the Crown Princess to decide. Elodie, your mother trusted me, and I have much to teach you. Now, because we're siding with our father, who is our chief advisor on most issues, we're going to send her away. This is our first major choice. Angry and yielding. You heard my father. Get out. Leave and don't come back. As you wish. I will return to my duchy until you call for me. She won't. Okay. Our mood is still depressed, but we'll talk to our dad again. Dad, what really happened to Mom? She was a Lumen, a magic user. It was meant to be in reserve to defend our domain, but she insisted on... You don't need to hear that. She used magic. It drained her strength. She thought it was harmless, but it wasn't. Eventually, her heart just stopped. That's why I don't want you involved in it. And because of that, we're not going to get involved with magic. And this time we're going to adjudicate the falcons. Whoops. You visit the Mews and learn about different kinds of trainable birds, their preferred nesting sites, behavior, and food. You learn about the fragility of hunting birds and the years of training necessary to develop mastery. Luckily, your Royal Falconer does most of the hard work for you. You learn about the hood and leather jesses, how and when they are worn, and how to keep them maintained and oiled. We have unlocked a new outfit. Excellent. He loves me not. Lottie, do you have a boyfriend? Not really, I just like to play with the flowers. Me too. You gather your skirts and prepare to sit down when all of a sudden a hissing noise alerts you to a hidden danger, a snake. Charlotte, don't move. You grab for a stick to push the snake away, but you lack the skills to do the job properly, and poking the snake only makes it angry. Too fast to see, it lunges forward and sinks its fangs into your leg. Ow. The snake slithers away, but it's too late now. A strange tingling sensation begins to spread throughout your flesh. That's a milk viper. They're poisonous. I don't feel good. Your leg is going numb. You stumble and fall to the ground. Hold on. Your cousin kneels beside you and presses her hands over the bite mark. The area throbs painfully, then begins to feel warm. After a minute, you're dizzy, but your leg isn't buzzing anymore, and even the wound has disappeared. How did you do that? I don't know how I do it. I just can. I'm not supposed to tell anybody. People think it's freaky. You won't tell, will you? Of course not. I'm just lucky you were here. Girls, what's going on out here? I heard yelling. Nothing. We saw a snake, but it got away. A snake? That's it. Charlotte, pack your things. We're going back to Merva. It's not safe here. Aw. Well, that's depressing. But as we saw, our cousin Charlotte has magical powers somehow. Some kind of healing magic. Daddy? He sighs, rubbing his fingers over his forehead. What is it? I love you. He looks at you without speaking, and you begin to feel bad for bothering him with your silly feelings. Then he stands and puts his arms around you. I love you too. For this moment, you are safe and happy. Our mood has changed. We have a new outfit which we're going to equip. The hunt coat, which is pretty funny. We still have penalties. We're going to go ahead and train falcons again. You spend time with your chosen bird, speaking to her and letting her get to know you. You don a heavy leather glove and encourage your bird to hop onto your fist. You carefully feed tidbits to your bird while she rests on your glove. Okay. The castle seems quieter with Charlotte and Emery and Zahara gone. It's certainly not empty, though. It seems like we get more servants every day. And we're going to attend court. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father and it may be important for your future. Because that's what a proper princess would do. And we finally have the yielding mood, which is what we want. We're going to do elegance and elegance. You practice walking along a narrow rail, taking each step carefully and focusing on your balance. You practice standing and walking with books balanced on your head. You practice the elegant way to hold and sip from a teacup, your pinky slightly extended for balance. One of the maids approaches for your attention. My lady, couriers have arrived from the Duke of Sedna. We have a Duke of Sedna? No, my lady, the Duchy of Sedna is in Talacy. They have brought you a letter and a gift. Condolences on the death of, deeply regret, best wishes. Oh, what a beautiful necklace. Something sparkly will make me feel better. And we're going to attend court again, which says the same thing as it did before. This time we're going to do 2 in presence. You practice wearing the royal regalia and looking at yourself in the mirror. Young as you are a queen of the blood. You are your mother's daughter. You are a force to be reckoned with. You stare at yourself in the mirror and practice focusing and transmitting energy with only your eyes, turning the intensity of your gaze on and off at will. You practice using different styles of breathing in order to feel more energetic and to let that energy surround you for others to share. Your Royal Highness, I would speak with you. What is it? Your mother wielded the power of Illumin, as have the kings and queens of Nova before her. Now that she is gone, that responsibility falls to you. Her crystal of power is now yours. My father said I shouldn't get involved in magic. If you don't, who will defend your domain if the Krakens rise again? I have seen signs of the future. Danger is coming. I can teach you to control your powers, but first, you must seize your birthright and become a Lumen. We won't do that because we're listening to our father being a proper princess, so we won't. No, my father said I shouldn't, and I trust him. You're trying to corrupt me. Your Highness, leave me alone. Let's check our mood. Yep, we'll do another attend court. And we're going to learn some public speaking. You practice tongue-twisting sequences of syllables to improve your enunciation. You take deep breaths and practice speaking loudly and clearly, projecting your voice into every corner of the room. Okay, nice. As you are walking up the stairs, a maid comes running down, holding a towering pile of linen. You gracefully step aside and let her pass. Excellent. You see, because we had some elegance points, we were able to not bump into the maid as she was coming down the stairs. We're going to attend service so we're less depressed. You attend services in the castle grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. Going to do 2 in court manners. You review the correct greetings for guests according to rank and when to extend your hand to another. All nobles expect their due honors. As the person of highest rank within the domain, no one may sit at any formal event unless you give them permission. and no one must ever turn their back on you. If they do, you are intended to recognize the insult. Okay. There is a man here to see you. He wishes crown funding for a project of his. Remember, the treasury is not unlimited. If you choose to invest, you will have less money to work with later. Your Royal Highness, I have a plan to print books using metal letters which can be moved and reused. I need to borrow 875 lassie to assemble the metal and a factory to mold and cast the type. With this system, we will be able to create new books in a fraction of the time it takes now and make copies to send all over the world. I don't know much about factories or trade. Would that really be worthwhile? We are not interested because we didn't have the right skills to know that that would be a worthwhile venture. But it's all good. And we're going to attend court. Alright, let's take a look at our skills. We're going to do one in public speaking and one in court manners. You memorize lists and sonnets, then recite them for your teacher and any castle staff so she can round up to serve as an audience. You study rules for formal dining, including the proper utensils for different dishes. As the queen, no one will comment on your mistakes, but they will notice them. Your Highness, my sympathies for your loss. Even after all these years, I sometimes forget that my own mother will never be coming back. Thank you. However, I must call for your aid. The Ixionite occupation of the country of Imbrium has gone on for too long. Now is the time to push back. I know there's been some problems with Ixion, but I don't know the details. I guess they're occupying Southern Marie. I don't know anything about the military. I don't want to fight. There must be a peaceful way to settle this. I will send for diplomats from Ixion and try to come to some arrangement. Thank you, Your Highness. Your Highness, if I may ask, that necklace you're wearing, where did it come from? It was a gift from the Duke of Sedna. Then you have made arrangements with him? I think he's asking if I'm engaged to the Duke. Because we're the proper princess, we'll consider it. No arrangements yet, but I look upon him fondly. I see. Your happiness is my utmost concern, Your Highness. Thank you. And we'll attend court again. I'm going to do 2 in presence. You plant your feet in a strong stance, imagining that you are a tree deeply rooted in the earth. You can feel that power resides within you and know that you will not be pushed aside. You practice focusing your attention on individuals as you pass, letting them feel a brief connection with you before you formally acknowledge them with a nod. Whoops. That wasn't the best way to go about that, but... The representative from Ixion is here. Be careful. No one wants to give up prizes that they have won. You have the full support of my sister and myself, Your Highness. Let's get this over with. Your Royal Highness, thank you for granting me this audience. I am sure we can come to an amicable agreement. Let bygones be bygones, no? We will forget about your unprovoked attacks on us, and you will transfer the rights to this little province. We can be good neighbors again without any lives being lost. Okay, another major choice. Because we're the proper princess, we don't want to surrender, we don't want to offer money, and we definitely don't want to execute him, so the only thing we have left is bluff intimidate. You are trespassing on our lands. You will withdraw your troops at once. Only then will we have peace. This necklace I'm wearing might convince him that we are already allied with the Duke Sedna in the domain of Talassi. I don't want to save scum. So, we might have enough presents to pull this off, but we're gonna claim we're allied with Talassi. As you can see, I already have allies. Do you really want to face both Nova and Talassi? Perhaps not. Yes, I won. And we're going to attend court again. We're going to do 2 in composure. You practice deep breathing exercises, learning to find and maintain a sense of inner calm. You practice positive thinking, maintaining a good self-image, and conditioning yourself to carry on rather than be frustrated by any past misstep. You practice sitting calmly while your teacher circles around you and makes unexpected loud noises at random intervals. And we unlocked a new outfit. There are reports that a Keithong has been sighted leaving the old forest. Excuse me. What's a Keithong? A beast with the body of an enormous golden cat, a sharp beak, and spikes on its back. Eek. Several disappearances in southern Coloris are already thought to be the work of this creature. What do we do? Should we send hunters? The traditional policy on stray beasts is to hope that they return to the forest and stay there. Hunters are no match for such creatures. You would only make it angry and waste more lives. So, we just let it eat people? Everyone dies in the end. Ugh. Also, there is a letter for you. Talarist, the Duke of Sedna, will be arriving next week for an official visit. Now, we already said that we were betrothed to him, to the neighboring country, so I guess we're going to end up marrying him? So we'll have to see what happens with that. And we want to be less depressed. And we're going to go 2 in elegance. But first we're going to equip the coronet. Now we look like a proper princess. You are strapped into a corset and hoop skirt and practice walking with these. The corset makes it hard to breathe and twist, and the skirt sways out of control if you move too rapidly. You practice graceful arm gestures for every motion, from offering your hand for a kiss to taking hold of a banister at the stairs. You practice eating slowly and with a minimum of mess, chewing each bite a set number of times before swallowing. You practice standing up, sitting down, and picking up items from the floor. Bend at the knees, not at the waist. 1 second. Just checking on some things with the stream itself. Okay. Ah, Your Highness. What a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Your description did not do you justice. One moment, I'm having some coffee. Giggle. I don't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering, a jewel for a jewel, but you are the more precious. I hope this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. A union between us would bring stability to both our peoples. He really does want to marry me. And, because we are the proper princess, I would be honored. Elodie, Your Grace, are you not aware that my daughter has only 14 summers? It's my decision. A betrothal only, of course. There is no need for hurry. You have a coronation to plan for, after all. If I might be of service in any way, please send for me. I would be happy to offer my protection or advice. Now, we kind of went against our father for that, but I think that in Elodie, our character's mind, she's expected to get married as soon as possible, so that's why she's doing what she does. And we're going to attend court. Now, we need to get some flattery going with conversation. As you saw earlier, you have to, with each category of skills, you have to get each of them up to a certain level so that you can get past 50. As you saw when we were doing presence, it capped at 50 because we didn't level up the other ones yet. Excuse me. Alright, flattery it is. You learn that it's important to make eye contact when saying nice things about someone. You learn that flattering compliments have the best impact when kept short. Gushing makes people feel awkward. And we've unlocked another new outfit. Excellent. You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder and requests the mercy of the crown. Your Highness, this slattern dares to beg pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. Which sister? Corsande, the Duchess of Mead. Is she all right? She is unharmed. We caught the culprit in the kitchens before anyone could eat her foul spew. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's justice it is. Them devils killed me brother and broke me mam's heart. Lied to her they did when she went to see why he'd not come back. Said he'd gone for a soldier when he never would. He weren't the only one neither. I waited 10 years for my chance to get my own back. That's justice. You see, she's completely unrepentant. Hang her and be done with it. I don't know what all this is about. Either way, murder is a serious crime, but... Well, we kind of have our hands tied. She did admit to trying to poison the Duchess. So... oh, it's time to execute. Because I feel like that's what Elodie would do in the proper princess run. Because people are like, this lady is a murderer. She needs to be executed. So, here we go. As she is clearly guilty, her life is forfeit. She will be hanged in public as a deterrent to other criminals. You'll not have me! All of a sudden, she breaks loose from her guards and rushes at you. In your court dress, you are unarmed. You grope for a weapon and find only a golden ornament which you hurl in her direction. Your missile flies wide of its mark. Before you have a chance to do anything else, your personal guards step into action, cutting the woman down before she can endanger you. Her lifeless body lies bleeding on your carpet. Get that out of here. Put it on display so that everyone sees what happens to criminals. Damn, Elodie. And we will attend service. Let's take a look at our... oh, we have a new outfit. The tea dress, I believe. Which boosts... oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. The outfits give you bonuses to your skills as long as you keep wearing them. As you can see, the green is the bonus that we get from the outfit. I'm taking a look at our skills. I'm trying not to metagame too hard because I've played this so many times, but there are certain things that we just want to make sure that we have. Let's go with one in elegance and one in public speaking. So elegance, public speaking. You practice speaking and laughing quietly, not trying to disappear or go unheard, but focusing your energy into a smaller space so that it draws people closer. You practice sitting quietly and listening to the conversations of others without becoming bored or restless. Your teacher asks you questions about made-up nonsense, pushing you to improvise answers smoothly and swiftly without having to worry about them being correct. As you are walking one day in the gardens, you hear a strange sound and look up to see an owl flying overhead. A single dry leaf flutters in its talons. An owl flying in the open and broad daylight? That's unusual. I wonder if something attacked it. When you return to the castle, your father is waiting for you. There is a woman here to see you. She wishes crown funding for a project. Thank you for seeing me, Your Highness. I come to you on behalf of the people. I wish to build a hospital where any citizen afflicted with disease can be brought for treatment. Putting all the sick people together? Wouldn't that make them die faster? We are not interested. And as you saw, we didn't have the right skills to know that building a hospital was a good thing. And we'll attend court. Okay. What should be next? Public speaking and court manners. You study the traditions of ballroom etiquette, how to politely accept or defer an offer, and how to avoid the impression of attachment to an individual. You memorize the correct title for every servant in the castle. Treating servants with respect ensures good service. You read collections of famous historical speeches and practice saying them in convincingly dramatic fashion. You borrow the menu for an upcoming banquet and practice delivering it as a dramatic speech to an audience of confused chambermaids. Remember that the Festival of the Good Lady is approaching. There will be public celebrations for the commoners, followed by a grand gala for the nobility. A grand ball. There will be dancing. As queen, you would be expected to lead the procession and take part in the ceremonial planting, possibly give a speech. However, since you are not yet crowned, it is not required, and it may not be safe to expose you to the public. What do you mean, not safe? Outside of the castle, you are less well protected. If anyone means you harm, think on it now, decide later. Will the Duke of Sedna attend the gala? It is a traditional Novan event. Inviting your fiancé might be seen as a statement. You suspect your father does not wish to watch you dancing with Talaris. Well, we have to invite him. He is our fiancé. If I'm going to marry him, it's a statement I ought to send. As you wish. There's a letter for you as well. It's from Bryony. I went to school with her, but she's a couple years older than me. Her mother is the Duchess of Mead. She's complaining that her mother still won't let her come home for the holidays. Apparently her uncle Kavan has been acting strangely lately and shouting at shadows. She's bored and looking for an adventure. Well, I don't have any to suggest to her. And attend service. Court manners and flattery, I suppose? To directly challenge someone's honor is to declare war. Never make a public accusation of cowardice, treason, infidelity, or murder unless you are prepared to face mortal enemies. And on that note, you study the etiquette of dueling. That's funny. As a monarch, you are expected to embody the virtues of honesty, bravery, and generosity. You should always offer aid to those in need. However, those you aid personally are expected to give you their utmost loyalty, even unto death. You learn that it is always better to compliment people for their personality and their choices rather than their physical attributes. Visual elements are best to flatter on the first meeting. They are expected to be noticed right away. If you spent more time with someone, suddenly complimenting their attire will ring false. Today is the procession and planting for the Festival of the Good Lady. Will you be leading the parade? If you have any concerns about your safety, please stay here. The people will recover from disappointment. If we lose you, there is no recovery. We will lead the parade and make a speech as a proper princess should do. I'm not afraid. I'm going to be the best parade leader ever. My little girl. You prepare your best gown for the occasion, then walk slowly through the town with your attendants. It would not be appropriate for you to wear a sword, but you do walk with a sturdy golden scepter that's taller than you are. You can tell from the excited murmurs around you that the people are impressed with your queenly appearance. At the end of the route, you help the priestess turn over the earth for the new tree to be planted. After the blessings are read, you hold up your hands and call for silence so that you can speak. My affectionate greetings to you all, and my thanks, for it is the people that make this domain great. We are here today to celebrate the gifts of the good lady, the promise of fertility and new birth. Winter always comes, but winter is followed by spring. Each of us faces hardships, but we grow back stronger than ever. Now is the time for new beginnings, and for my beginning as your queen. Your words are met with great applause. The procession group returns to the castle. All of a sudden there is a faint rumbling noise from under your feet. The newly planted tree in front of you quivers, and then out of nowhere, a spurt of water comes up from the ground, spattering you and the assembled crowd with droplets. Just as quickly as it began, it vanishes. The priestesses try to calm the crowds with talk of omens and natural eruptions, but they can't halt the whispers. Dark magic. That water tasted of salt. Oh no, that's a bad omen, isn't it? If we had points in divination, we might be able to interpret that omen, but we don't. So we just kind of have to accept it. And more attending of the court. We'll go for composure and presence. At your command, your teacher strikes your palm with a leather toise, and you learn to bear the sting. You lie on a couch and try to remain relaxed while your teacher smacks your heel with a leather toise. You are strapped into tight, heavy armor and made to walk around in it, learning that any attempt at sudden movement will catch painfully or trip you up. Slow and steady is the way to go. That's some intense training. You practice being aware of your environment, seeing everything as it transpires around you and feeling that you are in control of it all. You practice giving commands to the castle staff, neither asking nor demanding, but telling them what needs to be done. As long as you believe it to be true, they will as well. Are you ready for the grand ball? All the nobles in the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. Gulp. I need some more coffee, one moment. I will be right back. Sorry for the delay. I just need more coffee. Let me check something real quick. We might have to end the stream, unfortunately. Hang on. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't have the house to myself. Thank you for watching. I will save the state and we will get back to this next time. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.